Yes, I think I'm ready with my microphone and a speaker so I can start the second video for the pattern from Dar el Bacha. You see, the pattern comes from the house of Pasha, and the palace of this Pasha is in the old Medina in Marrakesh. If you were traveling through the uh, Arab countries, through the Middle East countries, you always find something that is called Medina, El Medina, La Medina, or Souk. These are very interesting places. You can go there and you can sink into the local life and you can visit all these small shops and houses. And this is combination of living houses and shops and some kind of palaces, some utility places, and it is like a big labyrinth. You can disappear in this labyrinth and you can enjoy really the local life. I spent some time in La Medina in Tunis, and every time when I was there, I was spending there many, many hours, and every day I was discovering something new, something interesting. So we are talking about pattern from a palace in Medina in Marrakesh. And now let me to go back to this what we did. In the previous video, I was explaining construction of this pattern, and it was construction like this. And we did this pattern precisely well. I don't know if I have it here. No. Yeah, okay, it was somewhere in the past. Yeah, okay, it was this one. So we did this pattern and we really had a good time. Now I promised you that I will talk about kundekari version of this pattern. If you just look at these lines here, these are not single lines like we have here. These are the double or triple lines, and they suggest something different than this what we did. So we did the pattern, but we didn't do the final rendering of the pattern, and this is what we want to discuss today. I know that I should spend some time and explain more about kundekari versions, but maybe another time. Now let's go and let's see what is briefly kundekari. This is kundekari artwork from Sultan Selim Mosque in Istanbul. It is really beautiful pattern, and this is fragment. This is not the complete pattern. This is fragment of the big doors, and this is just a small part of the bottom of the doors. But I may come to this place again in the future. Now I would like to spend some time talking about this what I see here. You see, the pattern is built out of pieces of wood, and these pieces like here are the separate pieces. Some pieces were missing, so they replaced them and they put new ones. Yes, and then between these pieces are carved pieces of wood, and this one is like octagonal shape, but here it is a flattened pentagon. And if you just look at this pentagon has almost, this is not symmetric, but has almost a symmetry line here. And this whole design is just a 3D design. These pieces of wood are 3D. They have the main rib, the top part, it is just this one. I will make it yellow. Okay, so you can see this is the top part, and the bottom part, it is just going down like here, and it is going down like here. So this piece of wood is really three-dimensional, and we have a number of belts that are just forming the pattern. And between these belts, we have larger polygons that fill the empty space. This is what I can say about kundekari at the moment, because I really don't want to waste a good topic for just brief 15 minutes talk. So our purpose for the pattern from Al Medina will be to make a 3D version. It means a version that looks like this. That's a one edge. That's one edge. Okay. This is the central rib, and of course this is connection. So, and then you have shadow. Okay, we will not model shadow, so forget about this. The same is with this shape. It has some shadows. It is 3D. It is not really flat object. This is 3D. Its edges are down below the main surface. So our goal will be to do a thing like this. Now, I wish to come back to one moment. You see, when we were developing this corner, I said we will use a thing like this. This means this is kite. This angle is 22.5. You can measure it if you don't. Yeah, okay. So measure this angle. We will need it. Okay. And this angle, of course, this is part of the star, octagonal star. So measure this angle. It is 45 degrees. So this shape here, it is easy shape. We can easily construct it. This pentagon, this triangle is like this. The top part, top corner, measure angle. This is 45, and then the bottom corner, measure the angle is 67.5. So this is what we have. It is like this. 90 degrees by 4. Okay. Okay, just let me to calculate this. This will be easier. So how much is 90 degree? 90 degrees by 4. You see, we got 22.5. So where it was this angle here. And then if we multiply this by 2, we got 45. Okay. But if you multiply this by 3, we got 67.5. So all these angles that are used in octagonal design are here: 22.5, 45, then you have 67, and of course you have 90. Okay, so that's what we are dealing with. Let's go to the next page. So I just put this thing here down, and this will be our main shape for the moment. The shape in the middle, I explained already. This is octagon, and it was cut out of octagon. So the edge here and the edge here are the same edges. This one, it does not have any edges like this, but this is the same. So this edge, this one, and this one, and this one, they are the same length. Now, let's go back for a moment, for a brief moment to this thing. You remember what I said? I said, let's make a kite like this. Suppose that we will return back to the situation that we had before. Okay, you see what is happening when you return to the situation that you had before. These lines are going outside of the square. Okay, so this was the reason why I said we have to go and use just a kite like this. If we use a square, the square, you remember the square, this was the square that we could have. Okay, if we use the square, this line will not match the edge of the star in the corner. So in order to match the edge of the pattern and the edge of the star, exactly this one, we had to change the selection. Okay, I think you will remember this case. Now, when we are here, we need to decide how wide are our belts. Okay, because these belts can be very wide and or can be narrower, and there are of course some limits. They cannot be as wide as we want, but we just want to mark them properly. So going back here, how I do this thing. First thing, I do this. I take 2 points, construct 2 perpendicular lines, make these lines thin, okay, and mark these points. Now I have 2 points, well, I have more points, I have 3 points, so I can decide how wide will be my belt. Suppose I will go to my tools and I can use segment midpoint or segment 3 section. If I use a segment 3 section, there's really no reason to use 3 section because this is octagonal design. So rather I prefer to use a division of this part in 2 parts. This will give me quite wide margin. And of course, I can get the same point here. Okay, so, okay, come on, too many. So this is the point, and I can use these 2 points, display height. If I do this, then I can just do a thing like this. Select this segment, select these 2 points, construct parallel lines. Perfectly fine. Now, select these 2 points, select this segment, construct parallel lines. Okay. And now I can just proceed with the rest. So double click, this is what? This is the angle bisector. So display line style dashed, just remember this is the, okay? And then I take these 2 lines, transform, reflect, then again transform, reflect. Okay, perfectly fine. Now I can do a few ways. One way is just make a segment like this, and then I don't need these labels, I don't need this number, I don't need this, and then what I can do, I can just take 2 lines, transform, reflect, again reflect, transform, reflect. Okay, and that is what I have got. Okay, if you wish, if you don't want to live on the old design, you can always remove it and then, but let me to go and start drawing. Line style medium. Okay, of course it should be solid, and then this is outside part, and then here is outside part, and then internal part is like this. Okay, so we got finally what we wanted to get. We don't need these polygons, so remove them. We can keep these segments, that's fine. And then what else we want to do? Okay, we want to do a specific thing, that is when you connect on the kundekari. Okay, just things like this, and then like this. This is the simulation of what of edges of the pieces of wood. Of course, you can just take them and make them thin. That's up to you. Now, what I have to do, I have to just select all lines, edit, select all lines, edit display, okay, action button, hide and show, and that's hide lines. Okay, and now if I don't need these segments, hide them. I may not need these objects, display hide straight objects. I will do something that is important. Okay, and first show lines. Select this point. This is the corner. Select another point. Then what to do? Select this segment, select these lines. Okay, or you can also keep this point, it is fine, and make a tool. Yes, and just say these are new lines and points. Why? Because I can use them. I can use them in many in situations when I need them. I also can make a tool like this, selecting these 2 points and selecting these points, okay, and then selecting these lines and make a new tool. This is 6 lines. Okay, why? Because this tool will be absolutely essential when making pattern for this shape. You see what is happening here? Okay, let's leave this for the future. Now hide all these lines. Okay, so the lines are hidden already. Now we don't need all these points. We can hide them, hide these objects, and of course you don't need these points here, so you can hide them around. There are too many of them, but we need them, all of them. Okay, and then you can edit action button, hide and show. You can add some colors here. but I doubt if I will have enough time. So hide these points, and this is what we got. Okay, now select these 2 points, select this area, edit, action button, no, not action button, go to here and create a new tool, kundekari petal. Okay, so this means if you go to our design, like here, you can use your kundekari petal here and you can just put it here. No problem at all, you will get a real kundekari design. Okay, let's go to the last page. So we did this part. We even don't need this point, so display hide this point. Now, what about this? Can we quickly make pattern out of this? This is octagon. I think we did octagon in the past, so display hide this polygon. Now I don't need these points. Display hide points. Now just remind me, this is the initial point, independent, and this one is independent. So let's remember about this. Now, what we have, new lines and points. We did this. Okay, fine. We are okay with this. And now transform, reflect. Okay. And of course, I should display hide lines. No, I should take these lines, line style, and make them solid. Okay, that is fine. I also need the central line, construct parallel line, but make it thin. Okay, thin. Display line style. Okay, what is happening here? Okay, and now line parallel to this one. Construct parallel line. Okay, so that is what we got. The same we do here. Okay, and then what we do, construct parallel line and then reflection. Okay, and then reflection, transform, reflect. Oh, come on, too many things at the same time. Okay, so transform, what I'm doing. Yes, that is this. And if you just make a quick solution, this line is a symmetry line. We can use it as a mirror. So what we do, transform, reflect. Okay, yes, we got quite a lot, and now what we have to do. We don't need to do this what we normally do in Persian design. Okay, we need to make a shape that is just a round shape. So take this line, construct perpendicular line, that is fine. Okay, and now what I do a thing like this. Okay, and then slowly I will be building my pattern now. So that's the one. Now I'm just walking through the middle line. Okay, and then is this. Okay, so this line is medium, and then finally, yeah, okay, this is what I do. Okay, now I want to get things the same outside, so what I do, I just draw a segment, and then I draw a segment like this, and these are thin segments. I don't want to have too many fat lines, and then I treat this segment as a mirror. So what I do, I take this, transform, reflect. Okay, and now we are ready to make both the internal part, this is this. Okay, so this is the internal part for this large circle, and the same way we going the outside part just like this. Okay, so now what I can do, I have to select all lines. I have to take also this line, display, hide, edit, action button, hide these lines, and hide them really. Okay, you see, we did part of the pattern, so that's fine. Hide the circle. You don't need these segments, so hide them. And now we have to just add these things, and just like this. Okay, and of course you can do even this way. And then what we do, we just hide all this. So display hide objects. We need these 2 points because we said these are the primary points. We also don't need this, but double click on the segment. This is the mirror for the circle. So hide these objects, and now take everything. You don't need to copy these segments, these points. Transform, reflect. Okay, so this is what we got. Now I want to get it bigger because here you have double. So hide this segment. You see there's also the same here. Display, hide this segment. So now I can go back, and now what I can say, points, edit, select all points. I need only these 2 points. Display, hide points. Okay, and that is, okay, I didn't copy something. Okay, now let's undo this. Okay, there should be a segment now. Okay, edit, select all points, keep these 2 points with us, display, hide all these points, and then you're getting pattern for this thing. So the circle pattern, kundekari. Okay, so we have second element of our puzzle. Let's keep it here, and now show points. Okay, I don't want display. I need these 2 points that I had here. Display, show all hidden. Okay, I need only these 2 points, and the rest, okay, I can keep these 2 points also. Display, hide objects. You can operate with the large number of hidden objects that are somewhere behind. Now, pattern for this part. So what we do, let's use one of, no, that's not the tool that we need. Okay. Yes, okay, but I need only the lines on the top, really. Okay, so this is what I really need. Now, these are the same lines that I got here. Transform, reflect. Fine, I'm okay with this. Okay, now, I suppose that this line, this is the middle line for what? For the star in the corner. Transform, reflect. Okay, now do this. Select these 3 points, this one, and this one. Construct angle bisector. Okay, this is what I wanted to have. Make it thin. Okay, this is the bisector. So what I will do, transform, reflect. Perfectly fine. I will hide my bisector because it will be disturbing. Now I have these lines going down. This will be the point of symmetry for the shape that I will create here. So construct perpendicular line. Okay, this line is dashed lines because this will be our mirror. Okay, so double click, select these 3 lines, transform, reflect. Okay, yes, and then what we are going to get. We are going to get a thing like this. Line style. Okay. And this must be solid. It has to go this way. It has to go this way. And it has to go this way. Okay. Because what we are doing external. No. I don't. I need exactly the point of intersection, red line and this line, construct intersection, and now I can go this way. Okay, so that is fine. Now, external part for the other parts. This is like this, and yes, and then yes, and then we should go this way. Okay, and now look, I need to get here something that looks like this. So again, I select these 2 lines because this one is already here, and I say transform, reflect. Okay, I don't need this part. And now I can carve. This is really carving. You see what I'm doing? I'm going to this point, and I'm going down, and I'm going to this point. Okay, and now these are the external or internal lines. Now I have to just go this way, and just like this, and just to here, go to here, go to here. Yes, perfectly fine. So now quickly edit, select all lines, edit, action button, hide and show. So hide these lines. Did we got something that we can accept? Yes, okay, hide the segment. I don't need these 2 points. And now, listen, if you wish to get a whole thing, that is really up to you, but I just need only this. Okay, I need lines like this, then this. And now, what I can do, first, remove all these lines. You don't need this point. Display height objects. I don't need this point. Now points. Edit. Select all points. I want to keep these 2 points only. Display height points. Now what I do this and I say kundekari shape 3. Okay, so now we have to go back and start looking for something that we did already. Oh yes, we got perfectly fine the star. So what I do, edit, no, document options. This was page 21, add, duplicate, 21, okay. And now I don't need, or maybe I will need, but let's move it outside. I don't need this drawing. And now that is this what I got. And now quick job. Shape 3 looks like this. Okay. And because I was lazy, so I would just say transform reflect and I got it here. Now kundekari circle. No, we did this for the edge, you remember? And then now kundekari petal. Yes, and that is this, that is like this, and that is this. And now let's go down, let's go like this. And now what I have to do, I have to just make reflection, get this point, okay, and now the petal like this. So I got my pattern, and I got my pattern in the kundekari form. So file, document options, add, duplicate the last page, 33, and now what we do. We just removing everything what is outside. Okay, and then we are removing this what is outside. Okay, and then we are hide these objects and now display hide these objects. And now what I need, I have to remove the red lines. So hide these objects. Now I need to remove these red lines. Display hide objects. Okay, listen, there are pieces missing here because I was doing things quite quickly. So this was this missing, and here are missing the segments, but this is not really important. Now, file, document options, add, duplicate, page 35, and let's finish this job properly. So what I do, I just do this way. I need space, so double click in this point, scaling, make it smaller. Okay, you don't need these segments. Oh well, So what you do, transform, reflect. Okay, and now you do the same here, transform, reflect. Okay, this was really quick job. My 45 minutes is just disappearing. So hide all these segments, display, hide these segments. Now draw lines. It doesn't matter what color I get this time. Yes, and now in this moment you can say this. First, edit, select all points, display, hide points. Then segments, edit, select all segments, display line style thin, and display color black. Okay, so this what I had. I had some segments red, some segment black. It doesn't really matter. I got perfectly what I wanted to have. And of course, you can just make this design bigger, smaller, depending on what you want. Okay, for example, if I double click here, I can just create a thing like this. Okay, and again, hide this thing. Yes, and then you can also double click on this line and just select everything. Okay, but uncheck these lines. So transform, reflect. Okay, now remove these lines. Yes, and now you can make everything smaller. Yeah, just like this. So this is our design. Okay, Control Z because sometimes my hand is just jumping too far. Okay, and this is okay. Now that's fine. This is our design. So I suggest look at this what I was telling you and try to make your own design. You can make these belts wider or narrower, that is up to you. But just remember, here there should be some gap. So don't kill this gap, just keep it narrower but not to zero. And thank you for everything, and I hope to see you in my next video.